Hello and Assalamualaikum everyone. My name is Nur Atila and today I will be presenting the first part of our Southeast Asian literary anthology that focuses on Indonesian literature and the poem Sajak Sebatang Lisong by W.S. Rendra. Before we get into the poem, let me introduce the anthology first. So Indonesia's literary tradition reflects tenacity, hope, struggle and development. And it all began with oral forms like pantun, syair, hikayat and also wayang stories, which also carried cultural values and moral lessons. Over time, literature evolved into modern forms such as poetry, prose and film, and it documents both hardship and resilience. And in this anthology, we will analyze 4 poems, 2 folktales and 1 film. Together, they show how Indonesian literature consistently portrays struggle, resilience as defining aspects of society. Now let's move on to the literary background of Indonesia. The written literature grew with Western education and the printing press. Early novels like Siti Nurbaya revealed tensions between tradition and modernization, like the Pujangga Baru movement, led by poets such as Amir Hamzah and others, emphasized spiritually and emotional struggle. After independence, poets like Chairi Anwar and also W.S. Rendra, they keep on expressing rebellion and freedom, and also confronting corruption and inequality. Now let's move on to the first poem, which is Sajak Sebatang Lisong by W.S. Rendra. W.S. Rendra, often called the Peacock Poet, was born in 1935 in Surakarta. He studied literature and theatre both in Indonesian and abroad. And in 1967, he founded Bengkel Theatre in Yogyakarta. His works often challenged authority, challenging corruption, poverty and inequality. Because of this, he faced censorship during the New Order era, but he remained a bold voice for the people. For the themes of the poem, Rendra uses vividly imagery to highlight the struggles of ordinary Indonesians. For example, he writes, dan aku melihat 8 juta kanak-kanak tanpa pendidikan. This line shows the systematic neglect of children, denied education, symbolizing how poverty perpetuates cycles of disadvantage. And the line itself represents struggle of Indonesian society. At the same time, the poem also reflects resilience. In the opening stanza, Rendra describes corrupt elites with the shocking image, and the line goes, 2-3 cukong mengangkang berak di atas kepala mereka. While it is actually humiliating, this image shows how people endure oppression, and their survival becomes a quiet form of defiance and a way of resisting injustice even when silenced. In summary, Sajak Sebatang Lisong captures 2 key themes. First one is poverty and inequality as a collective hardship or struggle, and resilience through endurance and defiance. Rendra transforms poetry into a tool of resistance, showing that literature is inseparable from the struggle of society. This makes his work central to our anthology on resilience in Indonesian literature. Now I will be passing the presentation to the next member.
Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. Today I will present 2 Indonesian poems titled Pahlawan Tak Dikenal by Toto Sudarto Bahtia and also Doa by Khairil Anwar. My focus is on the themes of struggle and resilience found in both poems. So for the first poem, Toto Sudarto Bahtia is an Indonesian poet known for writing about social issues and human experiences, especially related to war and independence. His works reflect the post-independence period when many people sacrificed their life for the nation. The poem Pahlawan Tak Dikenal tells the story of an unknown soldier who died during the struggle for independence. Although his identity is not known, his sacrifice represents many others who contributed to the country's freedom. The theme of struggle is shown through sacrifice and the harsh reality of war. For example, 10 tahun yang lalu dia terbaring or tetapi bukan tidur, sayang. In line 1 until 2 in stanza 1. This line creates a strong contrast. The words terbaring may seem peaceful, but bukan tidur reveals that the soldier is actually dead. This highlights the reality of war, where individuals lose their life while fighting for a greater cause. The poem also highlights resilience through courage and determination. For example, ia sudah tidak ingat lagi or akan wajahnya sendiri in line 5 until 6 in stanza 2. This line shows the level of sacrifice made by the soldier. Do you know that losing one's identity here symbolizes deep dedication? Despite the hardships, the soldier continues to endure, representing resilience through persistence and commitment. Now, moving on to the second poem, Khairil Anwar is one of the most influential Indonesian poets and a key figure in modern Indonesian literature. He is known for his expressive style and themes such as life, faith, and inner conflict. The poem Doa reflects a personal spiritual journey filled with uncertainty, reflections, and hope. The struggle in this poem is internal and spiritual. For example, Tuhanku or dalam termangu or aku masih menyebut namamu in line 1 until 3 stanza 1. The word termangu shows hesitation and uncertainty. The speaker is unsure yet still calls upon God. So this reflects an inner conflict between doubt and belief, showing that struggle can happen within a person's thoughts and emotion. So despite the struggle, the speaker shows resilience by continuing to hold on faith. For example, biar susah sungguh or mengingat kau penuh seluruh in line 7 until 8 stanza 2. This line shows persistence. Although maintaining faith is difficult, the speaker continues to try. This reflects resilience as the ability to stay strong and move forward despite challenges. In conclusion, both poems highlight the themes of struggle and resilience in different contexts. Pahlawan Tak Dikenal focuses on physical struggle during war, while Doa focuses on internal spiritual struggle. Both poems shows that resilience can be demonstrated through courage, persistence, and faith. That's all for me. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Hamida binti Mokhtar and my student ID is AM2311014046. Today I will be presenting an analysis of the poem Aku written by Khairil Anwar in 1943. This poem is one of the most well-known works in Indonesian literature and reflects strong themes of rebellion and resilience. First, I am presenting about background of the author. Khairil Anwar was an important figure in Indonesian poetry and a key member of the Angkatan 45 literary movement. He was born in 1922 in Medan and later moved to Jakarta, where he became involved in literary circles. His works often focus on themes such as individuality, rebellion, liberty, and freedom. Despite having a short career, he produced many impactful works. His poem Aku, especially famous for its bold expression of personal freedom and resistance against oppression. Next, I will be presenting Team 1, which is Rebellion Against Oppression. The first team is Rebellion Against Oppression and Limitations. The speaker refuses to follow what society expects from him and instead chooses to be true for himself. This is shown in the lines Aku ini binatang sialang or dari kumpulannya terbuang. This line describes the speaker as someone who rejected by society. However, instead of feeling weak, he accepts this identity and turns it into a symbol of independence. In conclusion, this theme highlights that the rebellion is not negative but instead a powerful way to protect one's identity and freedom. The last one, I will explain about Team 2, which is Unbreakable Spirit and Determination. The second theme is the speaker's unbreakable spirit and determination to survive. Despite facing pain and hardship, the speaker continues to move forward without giving up. This is shown in the lines biar peluru menembus kulitku or aku tetap meradang menerjang. These lines show that even when the speaker is hurt, he continues to fight while reflects his strength and resilience. In conclusion, this theme shows that resilience and determination are important in overcoming challenges and continuing to move forward in life. In conclusion, the poem Aku by Chairul Anwar powerfully presents the themes of rebellion and resilience. The speaker shows that being different and facing hardship does not make a person weak, but instead can become a source of strength. Overall, the poem delivers an important message about staying true to oneself and continuing to fight despite difficulties. I think that's all from me.
Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Anisofah binti Maknawi, and today I would like to present about my part, which is analysis of short stories. So the first short story titled Bawang Merah Bawang Putih, a traditional Indonesian folktale from oral storytelling tradition. The author of this short story is named Tria Ayuke. It reflects important cultural values such as kindness, patience, and justice. The story is about a kind and hardworking girl named Bawang Putih who lives with her cruel stepmother and her selfish house sister Bawang Merah. After her father passed away, Bawang Putih was forced to do all the house chores and was treated very badly. However, she remained patient and kind. One day, Bawang Putih accidentally lost her stepmother's clothes and went out to search for them. Along the way, she met an old woman and helped her sincerely. Because of her kindness, she was rewarded by the old woman. In contrast, Bawang Merah tried to do the same thing, but she was greedy and rude. As a result, she was punished instead of rewarded. From the story, we can clearly see the theme of good versus evil, where good actions are rewarded and bad actions are punished. It also highlights moral justice and teaches us the importance of being kind even in difficult situations. In addition, the story shows family conflict and inequality, especially through how Bawang Putih was treated very badly and unfairly by her step-family. In conclusion, Bawang Merah Bawang Putih is an important folktale that teaches us valuable lessons about kindness, patience, and the consequences of our actions. So, the second short story that I chose titled The Legend of Rawa Pening. This story is a traditional Indonesian folktale from central Java. The author of this folklore is Sri Wahyuni and Doni Setiawan. So the story explains the origin of Rawa Pening Lake
and reflects cultural values and beliefs. The story is about a poor widow and her son, Baru Klinting, who is known as a mysterious and supernatural boy. Because of their condition, they were treated badly by their villagers. One day, Baru Klinting went around the village asking for food, but most villagers refused to help him. Only one kind old woman gave him food and shelter. Later, Baru Klinting challenged the villagers to pull a stick from the ground, but they failed. When he pulled it out himself, water suddenly flowed out and flooded the village, forming Rawapening Lake. The old woman survived because she followed his warning to go to higher ground. From this story, we can see the main theme, which is the importance of kindness and empathy. Those who were cruel were punished, while the kind old woman was rewarded. Another theme is justice, where bad actions lead to consequences. The story also highlights issues like prejudice and social discrimination. In conclusion, the legend of Rawapening teaches us to be kind, humble, and not to judge others based on their appearance or background. So I think that's all from my part. Thank you. Bye.
Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. My name is Nur Farlina binti Mat Saleh, and today I am going to present my part, which is the film analysis of our literature anthology. But before that, I'm gonna tell you what the film that we choose for this literature anthology. So we're choosing the Kartini 2017 film because we think that this film shows a lot about two biggest themes that we want to present in this literature anthology, which is struggle and also resilience. So without any further ado, let's jump into the background of the director. So right now, I'm going to explain to you guys what is the background of the director of this film. But the question is, who is the director of this film, right? So the director of this film was known as Setiawan Hanung Bramatyo. So Setiawan was a film director and was born in Yogyakarta in 1975. And as the oldest child in his family, he developed an interest in theater from a young age and later chose to study filmmaking instead of economics. And although his early film was not successful, he continued working hard and gained recognition at the Indonesian Film Festival, and his breakthrough film, which is Ayah Cinta in 2008, became very popular, and Kartini in 2017 brought him into the international recognition level. So right now, I'm going to talk about the synopsis of the film of Kartini. So Kartini film is about Radeng Ajeng Kartini, which is a young noble woman in colonial Indonesia who is restricted by tradition and confined at home until marriage. And however, her love for learning changes everything. Through books and letters from Europe, she discovered new ideas about equality and education. And she realizes that women are treated unfairly and deserve the same rights as men. Despite strong pressure from her family and society, Kartini bravely fights for women's education and better future. This shows her courage, resilience, and determination to create a change. So right now, I'm going to tell you guys what is the issue portrayed in this film. So the first issue portrayed in this film is struggle, which is to get a freedom in traditional Javanese society. So as a noble woman, she is forced to follow seclusion, which limits her movement and education. However, Kartini values knowledge and believes that women deserve equal rights. This is shown when she says in the dialogue, she doesn't have to endure seclusion like I did, or in Javanese language, dueke ora kudu ngalami pingitan kaya aku. And this shows her determination and courage in fighting for women's freedom and a better future. Last but not least, about the issue portrayed in the film, which is resilience. Even though she is not allowed to leave the house, and she continues to write and share her ideas about equality and women's rights. And this is shown in her dialogue, which is, Kulo bade ngirim seratan menikah bade tipun terbitan Beijing, which is mean I want to send this writing, it will be published tomorrow. Through this, we can see her determination, make her voice heard, and fight for women's education, even facing restrictions. So to conclude, this anthology shows that the struggle and resilience are still relevant in today's society, and people continue to face challenges and obstacles, but resilience gives them the strength to move forward. As shown in Indonesian literature, struggle is not the end, but a process that builds courage, hope, and a better future. So that's all from my part. Thank you so much for watching.